Welcome back to Reflections with Emrys. Let's take a moment to see what each symbol has to offer today. Today's symbols are the air dragon, the rune, Thurisaz, and the or also known as the heather. The air dragon is a symbol of swift intellect, unseen power, and the ability to move through change with clarity and command. At its core, the air dragon carries the element of mind, thought, perception, language, and the invisible currents that shape reality. It represents freedom, elevation, and the power of perspective, seeing farther because you're willing to rise above the noise. The air dragon is not weighed down by heaviness. It teaches agility, strategy, and the wisdom of timing. It also symbolizes communication that cuts through illusion, truth spoken cleanly, without apology. And it reminds you that your breath, your words, and your attention are forms of magic. In life, the air dragon can show up when your mind is moving fast, when ideas arrive in bursts, when patterns connect, when insight feels sudden and sharp. It may appear when you're being called to speak up, negotiate, clarify, or make a decision that depends on discernment. The air dragon can also arrive when you're navigating chaos, urging you to rise above emotional whirlwinds and see the larger shape of things. Sometimes it appears as a reminder to protect your focus. Not every thought deserves your belief. Not every conversation deserves your energy, and it can signal a time to learn, study, plan, or refine your message before you act. The air dragon's reflection is this: treat your attention like a sacred wind, directed on purpose. Notice the stories you repeat in your mind, and ask whether they lift you or limit you. Speak what's true with calm precision, without needing to sharpen it into cruelty. Let your breath slow your nervous system and clear your thinking. When your mind becomes spacious, your path becomes visible. Thurisaz is a rune of protection, disruption, and the fierce boundary that clears what does not belong. At its core, Thurisaz carries thorn energy, sharp, direct, and impossible to ignore. It symbolizes defense, confrontation, and the moment something must be stopped, challenged, or cut away. This rune can bring catalysts, events, or realizations that break stagnation and force honesty. Thurisaz reminds you that not all obstacles are meant to be avoided. Some are meant to be met with strength and truth. And it teaches sacred anger, not rage for destruction, but power for protection. In life, Thurisaz may show up when you need firmer boundaries, when you've been tolerating what drains you, minimizing what hurts, or negotiating your own needs. It can appear as a warning sign. Pay attention to what is sharp, irritating, or repeatedly crossing the line. This rune can also signal a necessary confrontation, the kind that clears the air and restores respect. Sometimes it points to internal boundaries too, ending a habit, a pattern, or a mindset that keeps you small. And it asks you to be honest. What are you defending, and what are you pretending not to see? Thurisaz's reflection is this: let no be a complete sentence when it needs to be. Don't confuse peace with silence. Meet the moment directly, without dramatizing it, and trust your right to protect your energy. If something keeps pricking at you, it's asking for attention, not avoidance. The boundary you set today becomes the freedom you feel tomorrow. Or, the heather is an omen of resilience, gentle perseverance, and the quiet beauty that survives harsh conditions. At its core, heather grows where the land is tough, windy, rocky, acidic, or exposed, yet it still blooms with soft color. It symbolizes endurance without bitterness, the ability to keep going while remaining tender. Heather carries the energy of shelter and healing, often associated with comfort, restoration, and steady companionship. It also represents community and interwoven strength, patches of heather creating a living blanket across the moor. And it reminds you that you don't need perfect circumstances to keep growing. In life, heather may show up when you're rebuilding, when progress is slow but real. It can appear when you're learning to be kind to yourself while still being persistent. You may be in a season where you need consistent care, rest, nourishment, supportive people, and small routines that keep you rooted. Heather also suggests protective softness, choosing environments that don't scrape your spirit raw. And it can be a sign that your steadiness is working, even if it isn't flashy. Heather's reflection is this: let your resilience be gentle, not punishing. Choose the kind of strength that allows you to stay soft. If you're tired, don't call yourself weak, call yourself human. Keep tending the small things that help you heal. The bloom comes from consistency, not pressure. When we look at these three symbols together, the air dragon, Thurisaz, and a clear theme emerges: clarity, boundary, and resilient renewal. The air dragon brings perspective and clean communication. Thurisaz brings protection and necessary confrontation, or brings steady endurance and healing softness. Together, they suggest a moment where your mind is sharpening, your boundaries are being tested, and your spirit is being asked to stay both strong and kind. This combination says, rise above the noise, name the truth, and protect what you're rebuilding. It's not about fighting everything, it's about choosing what is worth defending. And it's about remembering that resilience doesn't require hardness. It requires devotion. The air dragon encourages you to focus your mind and speak with precision. Thurisaz invites you to set the boundary and stop what crosses the line, or reminds you to heal as you persist, and to let softness be part of your strength. The mood here feels like high wind over open hills, fresh, bracing, and clarifying, followed by the side of heather blooming anyway. There's a lesson about discernment. Not every battle is yours, but every boundary is your responsibility. This combination might be asking you to cut through confusion with one honest conversation, one clean decision, one firm limit. It may also be asking you to stop abandoning yourself to keep the peace. What this combination is asking of you is this: protect your peace with clarity, then keep going gently. Today's reflection is this: speak clearly, set the boundary, and let your resilience stay soft as it carries you forward. Thank you for joining me. I'll meet you in the next reflection.